How you doing, Mr. Bieber, Miss Gomez? Did you guys see No Strings Attached?
Take a picture.
Hey, so are there any strings attached to you guys' relationship?
Never say never.
Hey, Justin, you performing at the Grammys?
Sure. Don't get in my way, man.
Oh, sorry.
Justin, do you have a curfew tonight?
Miss Gomez, Justin, what's your idea of a perfect first date?
It only goes upstairs. I'm just saying. It only goes upstairs.
We're trying to throw geeks.
Hey, so you performing at the Grammys this year, Justin?
Yeah, we're gonna
I'm
give
excited.
you an exclusive. We're gonna give you an exclusive.
Oh, yeah.
Ready?
Never
say never.
February 11th.
Can you take a picture with her, please? Please, just take a picture with her. Take a picture with her. Please. Take a picture with her.
You have it?
Yeah, Selena, can you sign her? Come on, you take a picture.
Hey, Justin, it's good to see young love. It's good to see young love in Hollywood. Keep it real, guys. Ms. Gomez, are Mr. Bieber's fans?
Gotta give you an exclusive.
Never say never. Selena, are his fans still giving you a hard time?